Subscribe to the Cigars and Sea Stories newsletter. When you do, you are immediately eligible to share for the Cigars and Sea Stories giveaway. Every month we are giving away exclusive Cigars and Sea Stories gear, as well as gear and materials and items and books and gadgets and gizmos from all of our sponsors, guests, collaborators, whoever is engaging during that month's giveaway. So sign up right now at cigarsandseastories.com.
Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep
on this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Bennett and Mike are sitting down to discuss principles of small arms. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? Oh my god. Okay, normally we share factoids on every episode. If you don't listen to the end for our factoids, I'm sorry. You're just not getting smarter. But basically the next two episodes are going to be factoids, at least pertaining to principles of small arms. We'll break it up. We might even do a guest in between. Who the hell knows? But you're going to get principles of small arms 1 through 4. No, it's not a class. It's more talking our way through it. But it's information that, in my opinion, every infantry marine should be taught. I would go one step further to say everybody going through boot camp should learn this. And by the end of learning principles of small arms, you will have a much deeper appreciation for the term one shot, one kill. Because this goes through exactly what is a small arm by definition. And, real quick, off the bat, who do you think came up with the term assault rifle, Bennett?
Jesus. I have no idea.
This is Marine Corps doctrine that I am directly reading out of, okay? And an assault rifle is classified by the Marine Corps, right? So in Principles of Small Arms, Introduction to Small Arms, you can check it out on FWIC if you're familiar with that. And we're not going to go in depth as far as the classifications, whether or not it's classified, because it is not classified. It is declassified information. So if you're worried about knowing too much about foreign weapons, don't worry. All right, so principle of small arm, and I'm going to go through the category of the different types of small arms. But you have handguns, and then you have shoulder-fired weapons. All right, so number 1, a battle rifle. These are the large, long-barreled rifles designed to fire large, powerful, long-range cartridges, 30-06, 7.62 by 5.4 rim. So, all right, pop quiz, hotshot. What shoots a 30-06, Bennett, that Marines of yesteryear carried into World War II?
The M1.
There you go. So the M1 Grand,
the M1 Grand
is a battle
fantastic rifle.
It is, too. Dude, remember shooting Tim's?
Yeah.
Oh, my
God.
God.
That was incredible. Well, I was there when we bought it. We went and bought it, actually, when we went to, surprisingly enough, that was bought the weekend that Cigars and Sea Stories was born.
Yeah.
So we went over to the civilian, or what is that place? Shit. Down in Georgia. It's not in Georgia. It's technically in Alabama. We drove over to buy this M1.
Yeah.
And went to the civilian marksmanship. I can't remember what store it was, but it was pretty badass. They had M1s, coming out of their asses there. And we bought that. Plus, he bought a couple bayonets. It was pretty neat.
Well, and so that is considered or classified as a battle rifle. So is 7.62 by 5.4 rim, which is what the Mosin Nagant shoots. And
which we both have.
Right, and if you've ever shot a Mosin Nagant and seen that big-ass cannon coming out the front of it.
Kicks like a fucking mule.
Oh, it's intense. That is the same cartridge that the enemy fires out of the PKM. Yep. So if you've ever been caught in medium machine gun fire, you're getting shot at with the same caliber. And the same thing. I mean, Christ, sniper fire and Armati. Oh, my God. That was all 7.62 by 5.4 rim. I mean, it was. Yep. You can't snipe. You can shoot somebody without them knowing. With an AK-47, you can't technically, quote unquote, snipe them, right? Okay, so what do I mean by that? So a battle rifle, 7.62 by 5.4 rim, or 30-06, or American equivalent, and then you have the assault rifle. Assault rifles, this is verbatim. These rifles are comparatively lighter than battle rifles and are chambered for intermediate rounds, such as 7.62 by 3.9, 5.56 by 4.5. These weapons are usually selective fire with an ability to be fired either semi-automatic with some type of burst or fully automatic as well. They are designed with the modern battle rifle in mind, in which most engagements will be at 300 meters or less. They usually feature pistol grips and fixed buttstocks. Why does this matter? In my opinion, this matters because the term assault rifle is being used against us out of our own doctrine. It is an intermediate rifle in between a long-distance battle rifle, right, which they're not going to illegalize battle rifles. No. Those are for hunting. They're going to go after assault rifles. Anything that is 300 meters and in and can be engaged by a rifle, that's what they're trying to ban. Think about that. The term AR is for the company Armalite, not assault rifle.
Yep.
So I say it to that extent because what's going to happen next, you know what's getting wrapped up in that? Carbines. Carbines, these are usually a shortened version of an assault rifle. They're chambered for the same intermediate cartridge as their service counterparts. These weapons were originally designed for rear echelon support troops and armored vehicle crews. Their shortened barrels cause muzzle velocity to be lower than the full-sized counterparts, resulting in lesser effective range. Their reduced size does, however, make the weapon much easier to stow within a vehicle or maneuver in close quarters. Those are going too, folks. They're gonna go right after those bad boys in the ban also. So assault rifles and carbines. Sniper and designated marksman rifles are essentially taking a battle rifle. So a designated marksman rifle is taking a battle rifle and putting an optic on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it boils down to. So you put an optic on an M1, you got a designated marksman rifle. A sniper rifle is a bolt action, and it holds sub-minute of angle. So if you're outside of those tolerances, you do not have technically a sniper rifle. So based on those understanding, you know, those principles right there, the Sasser, carried, employed by snipers, not a sniper rifle. It's a designated marksman rifle. It doesn't hold the same tolerances. But what about the 50 cal? Is that a battle rifle? Yeah, technically it is. If you rip,
I would say yes.
so if you take the optic off of a Sasser, you have a battle rifle. When you put the optic on, you have a designated marksman rifle.
So what does Sasser stand for?
The Special Application Scoped Rifle. Special Application Scoped Rifle.
Just a little tidbit of info.
A little bit there. And
because some people have no fucking clue what you're saying. Just saying that. So.
Yeah, I mean it's a 50 cal. Does it shoot 50 BMG? Yes, it does. Does it shoot?
Yes, it does.
Does it shoot 50 BMG with accuracy? Yes, it does. Mike, how can you say that? Because last time I smoked somebody, last time I killed a fucking terrorist, I shot 50 BMG out of a Sasser, and that guy is super dead. So, and
super big holes.
He was a long ways away, real long ways away. Yeah, and then you've got shotguns, right? So shotguns, they can be breech loaded, like a side-by-side or an over-under. They can be a pump action. That's typically a tube loaded, a tube magazine fed. And so every time you pump, you chamber a new one. Could be tube magazine fed semi-automatic. Could be box fed semi-automatic. Could be box fed bolt action. Could be tube fed bolt action. Yes, there are definitely bolt action shotguns that are out there. Especially 410s. They're great for, you know, if you want to teach your daughter or your son how to shoot a shotgun or bird shot, you want to take them out and walk a field, I recommend a bolt action shotgun, usually chambered in 410 first. just so that it's a little bit lighter on the shoulder, whatever. But from
I've got to get a good hunting shotgun.
Get it for the girl. Get a 20 gauge for the girls. They'll
Well,
love
I have a Mossberg Defender, but that's not a good. It's a 20 and it's chambered in 20.
Yeah.
What do you want to call it? The Defender, the 500, Mossberg 500 or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I've used it to hunt squirrel, but I like freaking. I want like a real hunting shotgun.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I have the Mossberg 520, but then I've got a Remington 870 and 12. Which goes back to and it's the Marine Corps edition. Just saying.
Right? Rah.
It's fucking badass shotgun. I love it.
See, that's like, did you ever shoot my 16 gauge? That pump action shooting?
I've seen it. I've held it though, and it's pretty awesome.
It's a badass gun.
It is.
My grandfather bought that thing out of Sears Roebuck's catalog, 1948.
Isn't that hysterical?
It's fantastic.
Lord.
Oh yeah.
What kind is it?
It's a 16 gauge. 16
Yeah,
gauge pump
brand?
shotgun. Winchester. And it is this thing is amazing, dude. I've killed so many things with it that, I mean, and I say thing, people are like, thing, you're dehumanizing it. Right. Well, or de-animalizing it. Thing is a person, place, or a thing, right? It's a noun. So don't worry about it. So, yeah. So I've smoked a lot of animals. Killed a lot of animals with that shotgun. Blown a lot of shit up with that shotgun. And I actually shot the bead right off the end of it. I didn't even know that could happen. So I'm sitting there with this little hole in the end of my barrel, and I'm like, damn, it's time to upgrade. And so I went on Midway USA. Is one of my favorite places to go online for, that type of little specific part. And I bought this little clip-on. It like slides down the end of your barrel. It's a fiber optic thing. It costs like $12, I think. Might have been cheaper than that. Slide it down, position it to where it's in place. That's the only upgrade that I've ever done on that shotgun. Fires true. I blast shit apart with that 16 gauge. Freaking love 16 gauge. You go walk in a field with 4s or 6s in it, you will blow anything out of the sky.
Yeah, the only 16 gauge that I've actually fired was a Ithaca 16 gauge. Oh God, what's it called? Model 37 pump.
Oh,
it
dude,
was freaking badass. Like a 28-inch barrel, freaking shooting ducks and shit.
See, we got to get you rocking on like a
4+1.
We got to get you rocking on a Benelli or a.
Yeah, I would love a Benelli, but they're just a little expensive.
Yeah, but you can buy surplus Benelli 1014s.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, and they are rock'em sock'em guns. I mean, they'll go anywhere. But the other thing too, I mean, depending on what you want to shoot, like for the girls, look at some bolt action ones because you get some serious power out of those slugs. Depending on how you want to hunt in upstate New York, you guys got funky laws up there.
Yeah, but not bad for hunting, especially. I mean, this is why I can take them out. I take them out with the Remington, or I've got a Marlin 22. Shit, the hell is it? The 795 little piece of shit.
Yeah.
Rifle, but they freaking love it.
Love them.
Plink. It's freaking amazing.
Sorry for the background noise, people. I did a page turn over here. We got to talking about shotguns, but guess what else is qualified as a small arm? Under the United States Marine Corps, grenade launchers. Qualified as a small arm.
Yeah.
These weapons are designed to fire an explosive grenade. These weapons generally violate the 80 caliber 20 millimeter rule, right? Because there are rules to small arms. All right, and what is related to a small arm? So like a 40 millimeter grenade launcher, yeah, that's a small arm. Mm-hmm.
And the Marine Corps has 4 of them then, right?
4 different versions. I got to test
203, of course.
Yeah, but the 6-shot, I can't remember what it's called. I got to test that before they fielded it.
What is the 6-shot?
That was really cool.
So like the Mark,
Yeah, you're on. Mark 32. Look it up.
What it is?
Google that shit. I think, Mark 30. I think it is. I don't know. I don't remember.
Shit.
So check this out.
The 6-shot revolver, Mark 32.
Sweet. There you go. That was a good pull. Jesus.
Yeah, good pull. And then you've got the Mark 19, obviously, and then the M320 grenade launcher.
Real quick, by the way, true story. The U.S. Army during the Vietnam era didn't know what to do with the Mark 19. They didn't want to put it on a Jeep because it's so much ammo, like the space for all of the ammo and everything else like that.
It's just kind of a dumb weapon. I mean, it's a great weapon, but it's dumb too.
So they gave it to the Marine Corps, and the Marines were like, "What are we gonna do with this? Oh, I got a great idea. Let's mount it on a helicopter." And that's literally the first place that we used a Mark 19. Can you imagine calling for close air support?
That is a devastating weapon.
Dude.
Devastating weapon.
You call for CAS, and all of a sudden, this helo shows up like, chung, 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 chung. Like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, you look up in the sky like, what is that? And the jungle is just blowing up where the enemy was firing at you from. It's like, oh my God.
But see, this is one of those things that people don't talk about the Mark 19. It's got a cyclic rate of like over 300 rounds a minute.
Yeah, grenades a minute.
So if you're actually like on an airborne platform like that, and you've got the feed capacity.
Oh yeah.
To feed a weapon like that, give me a break.
Well, it's like being on the battlefield and witnessing the Gatling gun for the first time. I mean, it's a devastating thing when you see a Mark 19 do its job. You're
especially
dude.
When it's like 1,000 meters out.
Right.
It's like it's smoking, dude. You're smoking dudes at 1,500 meters with a Mark 19.
Right.
And now, if you're on an air platform, imagine that you could push that easy out to 2,000 meters easy.
You're lobbing that shit like pocket tanks, baby. Dum, 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 dum. Just. Dude, think about doing a strafing run. So you're just like going in max speed. Oh boy, cocks that helo sideways, and you're just dumping rounds. Like, we're gonna encircle the whole village. Like, check that out. I mean, Jesus, dude.
That's just mean.
Yeah,
it ain't right. I mean, it's right. It's right.
Fantastic. Well, one of the reasons.
Jesus. Well, I mean, what's amazing about that weapon, though,
as
complicated as it is. Right?
Yeah.
To take it apart and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had it in service since freaking 1968.
Okay, so check this out. Did you know that it's got a brass bag? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like to catch the brass that comes out of it?
No, I haven't seen
Yes. It's got a brass bag so that if you use it on a helo, because that was one of the things that they noticed. You pick up a Mark 19, you can do
drop.
Right. Dude, well, what you've got is a toe popper. You've got an enemy toe popper right there. You want to turn that into a bang bang, you totally can. It's an aluminum case. I'm not going to be able to find it. Right? Wink, wink. Wink, wink. Police up that brass, boys. You know what I'm saying? Hello. Otherwise, you're getting fucking yard lines. And anybody who's ever been through designated marksman or sniper school knows exactly what I'm talking about. They find one piece of brass, you're doing 1,000 monkey fuckers. And that sounds like fun. It's not. It's not fun. 1,000 of them. I'm serious. That was like an hour of my life.
So small arms.
Small arms.
So
automatic rifles are considered small arms. Submachine guns and personal defense weapons. To wrap it up, so there are 9 of them in total under just the rifle side. You have assault rifles, battle rifles, automatic rifle, submachine gun.
Assault rifles. Tactical. I can't call them assault rifles.
That's exactly what they're called per our doctrine. That is what they're called. That's what I keep trying to tell. Who the hell came up with this? Blah blah blah. It came out of AR. No, it did not. It came out of our doctrine. Armalite.
True
right?
Story.
I
just call them tactical rifles.
Right.
That's just me.
I used to call them black guns.
So what is the Marine Corps fire now? Like, what do we have now?
I mean,
what does the Marine Corps actually use?
We're still
an actual like rifles and carbines. What do they still carry?
So we still carry the M16 variant. We still carry the M4, but then the M27 took over for the squad automatic rifle, and it's being fielded up.
Replaced the SAW, which is technically that's an HK, right?
It is an H&K, yeah.
I've never.
They're great guns,
but I hear it's badass.
They're super great guns. Anybody who says that the saw is better than the H&K 416 has no idea what they're talking about.
They've never. Right,
they have no idea what they're talking about.
Because back in the day, the saw was a bad motherfucker. I just know that. I mean, I carried it very, very little, but
well,
yeah. So do you still? So the Marine Corps still has the A2, or did they upgrade to the A4? Do they still have both?
Yeah, so we have the A4, we have the M4. So we have the A4 for the long rifle, we have the M4 for the carbine, the M20
for the carbine,
and the M27 fulfills the automatic rifle.
Now I know Marsoc's got different rifles too.
Yep.
Just rolling those people into it as well, and I know that they have a modified M4. I just don't know what it's called. I know it's got like a 10-inch barrel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like the Mark something, but I don't know what. And
well,
I guess I could Google it, but I'm not really in a spot to do that.
So the legal term out on the market is a shortened battle rifle. Why is that not true? Because it doesn't have the same caliber as what a battle rifle is. So it's a shortened marksmanship rifle or something along those lines.
Okay, CQBR.
Yeah, there you go. Close quarter battle rifle.
Yeah. That's what we used to call them, but I don't know.
And that's the other thing, too, is Marines in, like, fast companies, recon elements, force reconnaissance, MARSOC, any of that, they're issued, sometimes, submachine guns and personal defense weapons. We, as foreign weapons and small arms weapons instructors, needed to know how to handle those submachine guns and the personal defense weapons. And understand what the difference between a submachine gun and a personal defense weapon is. So an MP5 is a submachine gun. It's a machine gun platform that's been brought down into a subcompact form, whereas a personal defense weapon is more along the lines of like an Uzi or an MP7, because it is a machine pistol, which, by the way, going directly into handguns, you have automatic handguns, which is single action, double action, and single action, and then you've got double action only. Then you have revolvers, which are double action, single action, double action only. So like a lot of wheel guns, like ankle guns, those are double action only. You can't cock the hammer back on it. And then you've got single action only and derringers. And then you have a whole nother qualification of machine gun, which is a light machine gun, medium machine gun, and then a heavy machine gun. We, as an infantry squad, technically do not get TO machine guns until we have the mission pertaining to do it. We have TO automatic rifles, which is why we have a squad automatic rifle. Is it a machine gun, or is it an automatic rifle? Well, technically, it's a light machine gun. So for years, the saw that we've been walking around with was a light machine gun, right? And that's what it's been qualified as. So that is the true distinctive upgrade that is happening. Will saws still be used? Yeah, probably. They'll probably put them up on like a scissor mount or something like that with a guy who's got a toe.
Did you ever get to fire the Colt, like the 9mm carbine?
Oh, yeah.
That looks like an M4 or whatever.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that weapon was pretty sweet. We got to use those a little bit instead of like an MP5.
Oh yeah.
Because I was never a fan of the MP5, but
no, me neither. I think it's got a garbage operating system.
But I do like the Colt 9mm Parabellum. Well, freaking firing little submachine gun.
This is a good segue, because I want to go into principles of small arms 2, and it's going to be a heck of a lot quicker than small arms 1 was. But you were just talking about the MP5. Do you know what kind of operating system that's got in it?
I don't.
So it's got a gas blowback system in it. Did you ever tear one apart?
Nope.
Okay,
never had to.
The bolts got rollers on either side of it, and they're a pain in the ass. They have to kind of...
Oh, you know what? Now I do know what you're talking about, because I have, now that I think about it, cleaned one before.
So here's what everybody sees in the movies, right?
The balls.
You know how it cocks out front, and then, the charging handle is spring-loaded, so it just kind of rests on the side until you pull it to the lock position, then it sticks like a little thing out there. And what do you always see in the Navy SEAL movies?
Them slapping it down.
Right, whack, right, into place. Here's one of the things about that specific operating system. One, bolt doesn't lock back to the rear. That really sucks. So you hear a dead man's click when it's time to reload. Two, when you actually go to reload, now you have to reach up in front, grab that charging handle, chamber it back to the rear without locking it, right? And frankly, it works better under tension. Same way as like an M14 works better under tension, or a Mark 39. So you lock the bolt to the rear, insert your source of ammunition, then slap it home. It has an entirely backwards muscle memory to it than any other platform you're already used to. Because when you go dry, you have to manually lock the bolt back, take out old, insert new, back-to-back, flat-to-flat, seat tug, slap the bolt home. It's a pain in the ass. They kind of suck, truth be told. Kind of a little bit.
I think that's why I like the Colt so much, is because it's just like the every other operating system that we trained on, which was and that's why it makes sense to keep that AR platform for across all, like an AR-10. Yeah, badass rifle.
Well, and so right. Well, so here's the other thing, and this is the segue. When you pick up 9mm brass and you see carbon striations that go vertical on it, so you look at it and it's striped up and down in black carbon, you know for a fact that it came out of that type of operating system. And it came out of a gas blowback operating system. So when you pick up that brass, it's very identifiable out on the battlefield. Well, the enemy doesn't typically shoot that at us. So you're giving shit away. And why does that matter to me? Because I'm an absolute gun nerd. I am a nerd for guns.
I am not a gun nerd.
Right.
But I like them.
Because it's fascinating.
I have like my 5 weapons that I like.
Right. Well, and okay, so check this out. Here are the components, and this is why you're going to have a better appreciation overall for one shot, one kill. When you are talking about just a cartridge, you have the components of a cartridge. You have the projectile, but then you have the jacket, the filler, and whether or not it's got a sabot on it. Then you have the propellant. So there's different types of propellant, single base, double base. You have the different forms, flake, ball, tubular, and then you have the different types of primers that are associated with that. So forgive my page flipping here. The different types of primer, the boxer primer. Typically U.S. military small arm ammunition still employs the boxer primer. The majority of foreign weapons employs a Berdan primer. Came around, the Americans actually developed it in the 1860s. It's kind of an interesting story if you want to look up the difference in between the boxer and the Berdan. The boxer was actually created by a British Army officer in the 1860s, and the Berdan primer was created by an American around the same time. But as a twist of fate, U.S. service branches do not use the Berdan. We use the boxer, which is technically foreign made. And then you have rimmed, rimless cartridges, semi-rim, rebated rim cartridges, and then you have belted and shot shell, for shotguns, and all of the units of measurement that's associated with it, like the U.S. customary. We use the term caliber. For example, the bore diameter of a 5.56 millimeter NATO, an M16A4, is approximately 0.223 inches. So it is referred to as .223 caliber. So, hey, we're only going to take away 223. Yeah, that's the same as 5.56. They're just using the U.S. customary name instead of the metric name. The metric name would be 5.56 or 7.62. What is 7.62? It's the diameter of the bore. It's the diameter of the barrel. So, hey, man, you shooting a 308 out of that? 308 is a customary American term. A 308 is 7.62 by 5.1.
Change everything.
Well, right, exactly. So
it's like metric versus whatever we use.
Right, U.S. customary. That's what it's called.
Yes, I know. But
and then you have gauges. This is really interesting. Do you know how shotguns were originally gauged?
How are they originally gauged, Michael?
I think this is really cool. So the measurement system is based on the English Gun Barrel Proof Act of 1868. Originally designated number was the number of lead balls, the diameter of the bore, to equal 1 pound. So how many lead balls you could put through the diameter of the bore until it equaled 1 pound. So what you do is you take this barrel, put it in a vise, take a gunny sack, attach it to a scale, and then you make lead balls the same size as the barrel you created, and you drop those lead balls through it into the gunny sack. Once it's broken above a pound, you count how many lead balls you have in there. You got 12 lead balls, you got a 12 gauge. You got 20 lead balls, you've got a 20 gauge. So if you've ever wondered why is a 20 gauge a higher number, but technically less power, it's because it took smaller lead balls going through and more lead balls to break a pound. Hence why it's a 20 gauge, vice a 12. That's it. That's how it was originally devised. And then what they did is they figured out, okay, these are the primarily created diameters, and then they standardized it. That's a 16 gauge diameter, that's a 20 gauge diameter. Just use those diameters from now on. We get it, guys, with the lead balls. Instead of having to do that all the time, let's standardize this. Which I think that's fascinating. So, take care, be well, and on that note, please cue the music.